Welcome back to the Next Human Lab podcast. I'm Simon. There's a sentence that quietly delays a lot of people's lives. Not because they're lazy, not because they don't care, but because deep down, they truly believe it. The sentence is, I'll start when I feel ready.
I think people associate readiness with safety. Like, if I feel ready, then maybe I won't fail. Or maybe they think confidence comes first. So they keep preparing emotionally instead of actually moving. And honestly, I think many people are afraid of being seen struggling.
That's such an important point, because today we're talking about something that changes growth completely once you understand it. Confidence is not what creates action. Very often, action creates confidence. And the identity you want is usually built after movement begins, not before. In this series, we've been exploring how identity is formed, how your inner voice shapes it, how habits reinforce it, how small actions slowly transform it. Today, we're talking about one of the biggest things that delays transformation, waiting to feel fully ready before taking action.
Which honestly sounds very normal. A lot of people probably think, of course I should wait until I'm ready.
Exactly. But here's the hidden problem. If identity is built through action, and action is delayed until confidence appears, then people stay stuck in the same identity loop, and they never collect the evidence needed to grow. Let's start here. Most people think readiness is a feeling, but in reality, readiness is often created through movement.
Meaning people don't usually feel prepared before growth?
Exactly. Think about almost every meaningful thing in life. Starting a new job, moving to a new place, having difficult conversations, building something new, speaking in public, beginning a healthier lifestyle. Very few people feel completely ready beforehand. What usually happens is this: they move first, then they adapt. And adaptation slowly creates confidence. Now let's understand why this happens psychologically. Your brain naturally wants certainty. Certainty feels safe. Predictability feels stable. So when something is unfamiliar, the brain says, wait, prepare more, delay. Not because it wants to ruin your life, but because it wants protection.
So hesitation is actually the nervous system trying to protect us?
Exactly. But the problem is, growth often requires entering unfamiliar territory. And unfamiliar doesn't always mean dangerous. Sometimes it simply means new. I remember someone telling me, I've spent 3 years trying to feel confident enough to start. 3 years. And honestly, a lot of people live there emotionally. They consume information constantly, watch videos, read books, take notes, think deeply, prepare endlessly. But movement never begins because internally, they believe confidence should arrive first. But confidence is usually built afterward, not before.
That's actually really powerful, because many people think hesitation means they're not ready yet, when maybe hesitation is simply part of the process.
Exactly. Sometimes growth feels shaky in the beginning, not because it's wrong, but because you're entering territory your identity hasn't experienced yet. This is where identity transformation becomes practical. Action creates evidence, and evidence reshapes belief.
So the brain needs proof before identity shifts?
Exactly. Imagine someone who believes, I'm bad at speaking. If they never speak, the identity stays frozen. But if they begin speaking in small ways, their brain slowly receives new evidence. Maybe awkward at first, maybe imperfect, but still, evidence. And eventually the brain starts updating the identity, not instantly, but gradually. There's also a deeper layer here. Sometimes waiting feels responsible, but emotionally, waiting can also protect the current identity.
Meaning, if people never try, they never have to confront discomfort?
Exactly, because action creates exposure. Exposure creates uncertainty, and uncertainty challenges identity. So the brain says, stay where things are familiar, even if familiar is limiting. Now here's the beautiful part. Action creates momentum, and momentum changes emotional state.
That's true. Sometimes after finally starting something, you suddenly feel clearer, even if you were anxious before.
Exactly, because movement creates energy, Stagnation drains it. People often think they need motivation to begin, but many times motivation appears after movement starts, not before. And honestly, if you've been waiting for the perfect moment to begin something, I hope this episode gently encourages you, because your life doesn't change all at once. It changes when movement begins. Even small movement. And if today's conversation is helping you reflect differently about fear, hesitation, or readiness, take a moment to like the video. That support genuinely helps these conversations reach more people who may quietly feel stuck in their own lives right now. And to everyone supporting the channel, thank you. Your encouragement allows us to continue creating thoughtful and meaningful conversations like this. This part is important too. Sometimes people think they're preparing, when actually they're avoiding imperfection.
That's really true. Because perfectionism sounds productive, but sometimes it delays growth.
Exactly. Perfectionism says only begin when you can guarantee success. But real life doesn't work that way. Growth is messy. Learning is awkward. Improvement is gradual. And people who eventually become confident usually started before they felt fully ready. At the deepest level, identity evolves through repeated courage. Not huge dramatic courage all the time, but small moments of willingness. Willingness to try, speak, begin, restart, continue, risk discomfort. Every time you move despite uncertainty, you teach yourself something important. I can handle growth. And eventually, that becomes identity. There's something quietly sad about waiting forever to feel ready, because life keeps moving. Opportunities move, relationships move, time moves. And sometimes people realize too late that confidence was never supposed to come first. Movement was. And honestly, this is not about forcing yourself harshly. It's about understanding that growth is learned experientially, not theoretically. You don't think your way into becoming someone new. You practice your way there. Exercise 1. Identify what you've been delaying. Ask yourself honestly, what have I been waiting to feel ready for? Examples: starting a project, improving health, having a difficult conversation, applying for opportunities, speaking up more, creating content, changing routines. Exercise 2. Shrink the action. Instead of trying to do everything, ask, what is the smallest possible step forward? Examples: write 1 paragraph, walk 10 minutes, send 1 message, practice for 5 minutes, speak once, organize 1 small area. Small movement still creates momentum. Exercise 3. Focus on identity, not outcome. Instead of asking, what if I fail? Ask, what kind of person am I becoming by taking this step? That question changes everything. So today, waiting to feel ready might actually be the thing keeping you stuck, because confidence often follows movement, not the other way around. Here's something to reflect on. What could change in my life if I stopped waiting for certainty? Because that question opens doors many people never walk through. In the next episode, we're going to explore something incredibly powerful: how your environment quietly rewires your identity every single day, and why the people, spaces, and inputs around you matter more than you think.
I think what stayed with me is realizing that readiness isn't always something you wait for. Sometimes it's something you grow into.
Exactly. And once you understand that, you stop waiting for confidence to magically appear, and you begin building it through movement. We'll see you in the next episode.